Hello. Oh, I don't have the right screen up. Sorry. Hello. My name is Heather Aston, and this is my channel, DT's Trinkets and Treasures. If this is the first time you stumbled upon one of my videos in the little corner of the World Wide Web, we know as YouTube, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I hope that you will find this video informative and entertaining enough that you'll want to hit that subscribe button, change the notification bell to all so that you never miss the release of one of my videos in the future. If you are a returning viewer known as my treasures, I love you all. Thank you for showing up for me each and every day. I appreciate it, whether it's when I'm live or, sorry, my glasses has something on it, or catching me on the replay and leaving me cute notes in the comments. I appreciate it. Alrighty, so you saw that collaboration. I went digging again this morning. You guys, there's going to be at least 3 different scoop sales. There's just so much. So I just grabbed a couple of like odds and ends to show you for those of you who are new and have not participated in a sale before. This will be so much fun. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Heather and Willow. So happy you ladies are here. People are kind of trickling in as we get going. This is in my normal time. I am broadcasting both, speaking of, I am broadcasting to both Rosanna Bradford's channel in Rose's Garden and my channel. She is on vacation with her hubby. They're spent a month in Scotland, and then they will be going to Ireland in a few short days for 10 days before she comes back. Cindy, you could only see yours because you must be watching on Rosanna's channel, and I hadn't put them up on the screen yet. They're now up on the screen, so you'll be able to see the chat from both sides and participate without a problem. So yes, I am filling in for her. So she normally comes on at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I come on at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, while she's gone, I'm streaming to both channels at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which lands right in the middle of our videos. So it's going to be so much fun. If you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up on both channels, that would be great. Or if you can just put it on in the background on the other channel later today so we both get the views, that would be wonderful, but not required. Okay, as I said, guys, I don't know how I still have some of these. I almost, if I would have had like 2 more minutes, I would have. But anybody remember these? A blast from the past? Oh, yes. These are from Randy. She had those a while ago. They're great. This can at times look like the shit show, but in the very best possible way, I'm hoping. Yeah, I went through some stuff, and not gonna lie, I'm surprised I still have some of this, but oh, thank you, Cindy. Those of you who have not participated in the sale, you'll be excited to see them. So, like I said, we're going to do several. Let me show you just a couple of little things. Yeah, we're doing that on Saturday evening. So let me go ahead and go down. Okay, so I've got links in all the metals, which I grabbed these to use, but the antique bronze, antique copper, gold, and silver. I have all of those that are just the links. These are wait, are these? Yeah, these are key rings but they're like really nice ones. And again, I have them in all the sizes. I also have large lobster clasps in most, if not all, of the sizes. So I figure these first couple of sales, guys, I'm hoping will get you stocked up for your Christmas shows after, or your fall, let's just say holiday shows. The holiday shows that you may be participating in. So I just grabbed some stuff. I did want to show you this specifically. I know I've mentioned it, and I hear it in Lauren's voice every time she shows some of the red jasper. You need one of those antique bronze right now. Oh, sure, of course. Did you get it? This is why you can verbally hear her eye roll whenever she says it, because where is the red jasper? Okay, so we have this, right? This is what they were telling her was rainbow jasper. That is rainbow jasper. So that's why you can kind of like hear her eyes rolling every time she says it, but says, I'm going to leave it packaged as they said, but you know, I think it's more this. So that is why I had told you guys that I had some pretty like twisted nuggets that were in a red rainbow jasper, so that I could show you that. And then if any of you guys have any of the agate left from the last couple of months, I'll have these on Saturday as well. They're just Z bead. They will go with any of the Z beads that you may have left over or have in your stash. And I will be breaking them up individually because a full strand of them is quite expensive. Then I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be completely honest with all of you. Cindy, do you know what I mean though? Don't you hear it in her voice every time she's opening? When she did the sneak peek, and then when she went and did the companion bundle, and again with the value bundle yesterday, it's funny, I hear it in her voice every time. Hello, Tina. Hello, Gracia. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, this next item, I'm forewarning you, Miranda Evans gets first dibs because she's the one that made me see these as what she turned them into. So these are seeds. They're literally seed beads. They are lays, but this is kind of funny. If you like to make beaded spiders, is this not the most perfect spider butt you could find? It looks like the gray and black striped spider bodies that you see that are like kind of fuzzy and whatnot. And then I have plain brown ones if you're not interested in these. And I don't have I don't have as many of the small ones left as I do the large ones. But these can either make a smaller beaded body for a beaded spider, or you could put it with the large gray and black. It's like a dark brown black color as the head of your spider. So she gets first dibs because I was like, I'm sure I'll be able to find you something. And then I looked over to like the left of me, and these were all sitting on my desk. People thought we planned it. We didn't. And then these are also awesome because these are shell spacers that last time I just sold separately so that you guys could have them in your stash. So I'll pull those out as well. Over here for right now. And then like how I have some of this stuff, I don't understand, but it's okay. This was something that I got from Bargain Bead Box, but I got these polymer clay beads in a Sam's box and they go together perfectly. So these are like the kind of things the little packets are going to be. And then, like I've tried to explain over the last couple of weeks, it's going to be a scoop sale, but that's not what I'm calling it. Just because, I don't know. I wanted to come up with something more clever. So it's either going to be bead buffet or something like that. But we will also just have like, how do I still have all of these beautiful dendritic agate beads? Or opal, sorry, dendritic opal beads. They're absolutely gorgeous. And you have just about any, like I also have the purple ones that I showed you the other day, but they're absolutely gorgeous. So those will be up again. Ooh, look at this one. So pretty. So I'm going back and forth on, do I do like a specific pendant sale? Do I include these just as one of the options, something like that? I keep going back and forth on. Hi, Cheryl. I hope I said hello. If I missed any of you, I'm sorry. I got excited. I want to show you this real quick before we go on with today's design. We're going to be making a few more bracelets. Sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. I will be pulling Pixie up a little bit in just a second. But I also like have this, which when I ordered it, it said it was fancy jasper or Indian agate, but once it got here, it's also looking more like ocean jasper to me, which is what was on the bag. So I don't know what to call this, so I will probably just say something like that. Because yeah, I don't know, or I'll just mark them as jaspers. Pull this red jasper stick bead out just in case we design with them today. And then I don't just, oh, that wasn't in there. That's why it doesn't fit. I also found some really cool little chandelier style pendant that you can like hang different things from, and I like this because the holes are spread far apart, giving you more creative license to use larger beads if you want to. Sometimes when I get chandelier things like this, I get overwhelmed trying to figure out what I can actually use that won't be all like smushed together, because we don't want that. I have some of this Mexican crazy lace agate that would go gorgeous with the red jasper. As you can see, it goes really pretty. I have some that have more red, because it's like reddish brown. So I have some that are more red than brown. In fact, I think I have them pulled out for later. But I have natural midnight blue tiger eye. I know my hands are really dry. I was digging through this stuff. And while the beads are not all dusty because they're in packages, the packages are dusty. So I have all of that. And this got passed up on previously, but if you're still designing with your rainforest relics, this is a Kambaba Jasper wire wrapped pendant that is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. So I'll have that one. I have a couple of other ones, like this pink one, that's all done. I have some more dendritic opal links and pieces, like blue lace agate. I don't know. Some of this I don't understand how it's still in my possession, but I do also know that it's likely because we've all had to like tighten our belts a little bit more. Natural Shiva stones, so pretty. They're not matte, but they're not polished, because matte is a completely different process. It's not just that they don't leave it. And this is brachiated frog jasper, which if you have any of your frogs left from last month, or have a project you used them in that you're not quite as fond of as you thought, you might want to grab this one, because it's literally a brachiated frog jasper. So what could it be more perfect to go with that than that? Just to show you kind of what it is, I'm going to pull this bracelet apart, speaking of, and then this will go in with the rest of the impression jasper that I showed you earlier. I do have some open jasper. We're going to have fun, guys. I promise. But if there's anything you're looking for specifically, please just reach out and let me know. Oh, Cheryl, it's $10. It is, I believe I have it measured. I keep hitting this. I believe I have it measured on the baggie. I can find out the measure. Oh, here it is. It is 50 by 38 by 8 millimeters. So it's 8 millimeters thick. So it's a really nice, sturdy pendant. Yeah, this one is just, oh, so pretty. Look at the foil. Looks in it kind of like a bronzite. That will help you know that this is a very high quality stone. You don't often get Kambaba jasper that has that bit of like foiled color in it. So it's a very nice stone. So, and then I had mentioned these. Grab my little how I also have little wet wipes right here to wipe my hands off with afterwards. Okay. I was telling you that I had some of the crosses and other like beautiful settings. I don't believe this one is marked sterling silver, but some of them are. There's this beautiful one. And neither Bernie or I know if it's actually turquoise or not. So for you, if it does turn out to be turquoise, it'll be your lucky day. But I'm not sure. So I can't mark it as such. or price it as such, but I have this one that's just beautiful, great statement pieces. Hi, Sid. Okay, we'll talk. Yeah, not a problem. But there are just, like, even if they're not real turquoise, they're still beautiful. So this one Bernie did think was red turquoise, and he thinks this is coral and that the blue is actual turquoise. This is one of the ones he was like, no, Heather, I think that is. So, but again, I don't know for sure, so I don't want to mark it as such. This beautiful bronze patinaed flower cross. So pretty. Those of you who like some sparkle, like a lot of sparkle. But if you put this on, if you put something like this on black leather, it tones it down quite a bit. It's not going to be as in your face. This one is antique silver, or it's been antiqued. Here's the gold one, which is really pretty. Here's another one of the ones he thought was, but again, because I don't know, I'm not going to price it as such. Oh, there are two of the little collar ones, so if you guys, but a lot of this stuff is one and done, and there's not much, like, I can't replace it, so they're all very pretty. This one, we're both certain, because this is set in sterling silver, guys. It is heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. So, again, he is very sure this is turquoise, this is red coral, and that this is amber of some sort. But it is heavy. You can see right there, it has the 925 stamp on it. So we have stuff like that. This is poppy seed jasper. So there will just be like a smattering of things. And I think I'm going to put the nicer scoop stuff in a separate box that'll be priced as such, but that way we'll still sprinkle a few odds and ends into the normal one. But this is just a porcelain glass bead mix that is really pretty, that'll get broken up into a few little groupings. Something just almost went sliding off the back of my desk, which I don't want. And then I have a lot of like dollar bead box check glass strands and stuff. So we should be able to have ourselves a pretty good time over multiple sales and have fun with all of that. So, oh, also, if any of you would have to wait until the 3rd for Social Security, reach out to me in advance and I can invoice you and wait on payment. And am more than willing to do so. You just gotta let me know that that's something that you need. Oh, I also found another porcelain cactus, only this one is from a couple years ago. So, also I need your guys' help with something design wise. I started making those strands on last night's show, and here's where I've gotten so far. So there's this strand that will have the like turquoise crystal and two tiny red jasper beads there. So I have one of those for each side. And then I have one of these that'll be one of the shorter strands where it just goes 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 on both sides. And now I'm trying to figure out if I want to put a lobster clasp at the end of both sides. And then maybe they'll have like this ring that they can attach to, but they can also separate it from that and wear it individually if they so choose. Oh, here's the impression dress for pendant. Okay. And then I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a stack of these of the red hashies on both sides. So I'm a little stuck. The other thing I was thinking about doing was just putting, like, if they want to wear them together, I would attach this hook and then they could just pull the jump ring down onto the hook when they want to wear it together. Or do I just make it a multi-strand piece and have them all go into a chandelier like that? Hi, Leah. I'm kind of stuck. So that's why we won't be working on this today, because I am a little stuck. Although while I was out there, I did find these turquoise hishis that I might be able to use and alternate with the red jasper ones back and forth. It's just, they're both turquoise in color, but this is like obviously very bright blue, whereas this is more of the blue green turquoise. So I'm a little stuck. That's where I'm at, though it's not far. But that's why when I saw this, I said, that's what we're going to play with. We will do another cactus piece, especially because I have these beautiful magnesite. Magnesite, are these, or are they howlite? I don't remember. It's one or the other. I don't remember, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. So I just thought it was funny. I was going through that, and I was pretty sure we'd had one of these in the past, but it's just, that's gonna be pretty. So also that other necklace that I'm working on, the time going into it versus the materials is a whole other situation. So, like I said, I wanted to bring these in. I have red jasper hashies the same size as these. You like those, Cheryl? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm excited to finish those. It's just that whether I wire wrap them, these ones, I did the technique where you pass the wire back through both sides. Oops, sorry. And I managed to get it through that 11-0 bead. That was a feat. So, like I said, this is something that had I tried to do it under camera, it would have been very difficult to do so. If you weren't able to join us yesterday, it said Bracelet Bash Part 2. But we just made this one bracelet, but I showed a whole litany of variations on how to make different looking pieces and how changing out just the focal or just the beads or whatever, the color of the wire, how you get a completely different look to it so that this can be used in a whole bunch of different ways. And then I even put a red jasper in the middle of our S clasp just to kind of carry it the rest of the way through. But we did this the day before that. I did a bunch of different bracelets. Well, I did 3 different bracelets. Today, I have this pulled out just because I want to keep in mind that I want to make a necklace to go with this. So that's why I have that pulled out. And then, like I said, I do have the Heishis, and I have my red jasper 8mm rounds that we can also use in the bracelet. I'm wondering if we just went like 3 of these and then maybe, let me see, where did I put the red jaspers? Please tell me that it is right here in my box and I didn't put it someplace. Yes, they are right here. Okay. So I have those larger size, and then I have these smaller ones, but they're bigger than the smaller ones. But what I was thinking is that we could do 3 of these and then put some of the red Haitian and then 3 of these and then put this in. So just to kind of play with the size differential, or I might just pull out the 8mm rounds. Yeah, I think I'd rather do that over the Haitians because those ones are big. So I also have 6mm that we can pull out, but those ones didn't come from Bargain Bead Box, whereas these ones did. So let's open up the strand. We can't decide anything while it's sitting on there. Got to get the beads off the strand. Start playing with them a little bit. It is fun to go through these boxes, guys, and see some of my old designs. It's been an experience, that's for sure. Some of them I look at and I'm like, wow, you did a good job. And other ones I look at and I'm like, what the heck were you thinking? Oh, but if I cut this apart and use that with this, it'll be so much better. So the what were you thinking doesn't last long. Oh, all of those strands will meet up with this as the focal because the crystals are the same blue color. So those will all meet up together. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need, but I don't want to open the whole strand. It's not necessary. Let me grab some antique. I'm going to go with the antique copper string. Let's see how if this looks like it will work the way I think it will. I also thought that I grabbed a whole bunch of cookies, but I must have left the clip contain the one with the clips on it out there on accident. Okay. So I was just thinking we could go like 1, 2, and 3. Like so. I would probably want to use a smaller bead. Oh. Hmm. I'm not so sure that I like the idea of that now, but I won't know until I go through the pattern. and swap it back. I can put metal on here, obviously. This part is just to see what I think of the design idea to begin with. Oh no, see that? Yeah. This is why you want to put it on the strand, because now on the strand, I don't mind that at all. I think I might do the first one without any spacers and just to keep it to the bead. Just keep it the beads. And then we can go and switch it up a little bit by adding some metal accents throughout it. But for this first one, that's a red lightning jasper for Rosanna. I hope I didn't pull out all of the red lightning jaspers. I think I may have. Red lightning jasper is just when you have a streak of quartz running through it, and that's Rosanna's favorite kind of red jasper. So I've been pulling those out and setting them to the side, and I must have just pulled from that section of my jasper box on accident. Okay, that's one. Okay, the rest of those are fine. So, did you guys all have a good night last night? I hope if you weren't able to watch last night that you want to go back and watch it. I just showed how to incorporate beads into chain, and I did it by doing very small, sorry about that, very small loops that match the size of the links, and then the ones where you cross it back over and it looks like you got beaded chain from a factory source or whatnot. So yeah, this is good. And this would be totally general neutral fluid, however you say that. Just meaning that it can be worn by both men and women. This would also make a nice stretch bracelet. We'll just string this up really quick. And then, like I said, we'll just go ahead and maybe do a second one, but add some metals into it just to see, because that way I prefer stackers over multi-strand pieces, just because with the multi-strand there's a higher chance of one of the strands individually clashing with an outfit you want to wear, but the rest look gorgeous with it, and that's always a bummer. So that is a red lightning jasper. So I prefer stackers, but I did kind of like the idea of either having the hook where the jump rings could hook onto multiple strands, and then I also thought with the lobster clasp on each end, being able to attach it to a ring of some sort would also be pretty. So make it kind of a convertible necklace. So it would be that even if they were separate pieces, they'd just be layered. Oops. I forgot a red jasper. And this is a perfect example of this bracelet of why we did the bracelet mandrel, because the length of this will not be the same as the designer. Hi, Cynthia. You like stackers better? Yeah. I just think it gives you more versatility. It's like this strand, the strand with just the blue crystals on it, can go with a whole bunch of stuff. But maybe it doesn't have any like red in it, or the red doesn't go with it the same way. But then you have this on here and it creates the possibility that you might not want to wear it. Okay, let's see where we're at. Measurement style. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to measure the length of this. And then we will measure the inner diameter. So this is just about 7 inches long, but only 6 inches on the inner diameter. Yeah, like right between 5 3/4 and 6 inches. So that's why these come in handy, especially for new makers, because it can help you be more confident that when you say a bracelet is oh my gosh, Heather talked. A bracelet is a 7-inch bracelet, that you don't have a customer then put it on and say, this isn't 7 inches. But I also like to have little beads on stretch at different measurements, so people can put them on and see what size they like, the way it fits, the way it drapes, all of that stuff. So that they can size their wrist right then and there. Okay, we're gonna grab some copper crimps and go ahead and finish this up, this bracelet up, and then we can play with the other. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking for. I have a container of lobster clasps that Rosanna brought me that I know have antique copper, and there are a couple of like lighter antiqued. So I was just gonna pull one of those out really quick. I'm going to put my crimp on, my clasp on, go back through my crimp, get my loop to the size I want it, and I want this to be able to swing, and it's a little tight, so I went ahead and brought it out a little bit so that it, so because this is a double ring hole, meaning it's twice as thick as normal, the ones that you typically find on the market. So where's my, Oh my goodness. I'll have all my tools out. Oh, here's one. Now I'm just going to grab my magical crimper. I'm going to center my crimp in the middle part and squish. And you do not have to Hercules this. You just need to close it. And these new ones that I found, you typically only need 2 squishes. And you get a very nice looking crimp. I think that wire will go inside the bead. There's not a lot of it there, but if it won't, then I will cut it off. There we go. I'm just going to cut it off. I would not want somebody to get this and think that's the type of work I do. Okay, then we're going to cut, leaving, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so. So we need our other crimp. We're going to put it on, and then we're going to turn, and I did make this a little bit shorter than I thought I did. It's plenty long enough. Just with my dexterity issues, this would have been hard to try to use just my fingers for. I need to see if this is an open or closed ring. Nope, this is a closed loop, so I need to attach it to here. Nope. Oh my goodness gracious. I was trying to put through or make the wire go through on the wrong side. So give yourself a little bit more room than I did. I'm just not going to restring this. It's all. But there we go. See, a minute ago, I was trying to feed it through because I thought the end was on this side, and it wasn't, and that's why it was causing me a problem. Okay, hold that down. And do the same thing I did on the other side. If this ring will let me. There we go. That took much longer than it should have, but I like the closed string option whenever I have it. So there is the first finished bracelet. Just very easy, like I said. Oh, this went to a little bit longer than I thought once I put the loops on. I always forget to add in this length as well. If I'd been but it's fine because this is 7 3/4, so it will fit both men and women quite easily. So I like to have options in for both. Okay, now let's see here. Thankfully, yeah, I like it. It's simple but effective. You could wear this year round, wear it at the beach, wear it like it's a very versatile design. And like I said, when I was just looking at the two sizes of the Heishi beads on the mat, I was like, there's no way that those are gonna look together good together, but they really did. They look very nice together. So that's just a good thing to keep in mind when you're designing. Try to put at least one repeat of the pattern together over instead of just trying to visualize it completely. Actually put it on the strand. It'll make it you'll feel more confident. Now, we can also just, you wanted to do this a bit quicker. Let's grab us some 18 gauge wire. Go ahead and pull this out. Just running it down my nylon job pliers so it's a little bit straighter. I'm just going to cut sections of wire. And we'll do the next one as a wrap, as a, a wire wrapped option. A linked option is what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're going to leave that right there just in case I need more. So I have these all in my hand right here. I'm going to go ahead and take my flat nose pliers and I'm going to bend all of these at the same time. Then I have found personally that when I just do the loop of all of these and assemble linked pieces together, that I do better doing it in production style. I don't know if that's the right word. But I do all of one step before I move on. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I left myself like no room. So we will go ahead and just use the first step instead of the second step. So I will just recenter this. And then I'm not going to wrap it, obviously. That is an ugly loop. I will fix it. I will fix it. I will fix it. But if I go through, I'm less likely to forget to attach it before I finish wrapping it up. And this helps with that so much. Sorry. If you are new to wire wrapping, take the ruler off. Pixie tries to focus on that. I did a 90-degree angle. I like to go in the curve of that angle rather than having my pliers vertical to my mat. I have them at an angle. And then I just push up, over, across the top, and down. Then I rotate my pliers so that they are parallel with my mat, and I just finish the rest of my loop. I am somebody who likes to pull the loops tight. I didn't mean to do them that tight, goodness. Just because I feel like it gives me a better loop. But I don't know if I'm gonna attach these directly to each other or if I'm going to use jump rings. I haven't quite gotten that far yet. I wrap those up quickly. I'm going to start with the ugly duckling, and I'm going to do my best to turn it into a swan. I'm not going to hold this as tight as I normally would as far as the shape of the, as I'm pulling this wire tight, and I'm doing that. That's quite a bit better. I scooch it just a bit more, it'll be good. And then I'm just going to use the hybrid link or loops, which is I just go and I pull the wire just around the back until I get back to where the loop started, which is right there. And I like to go ahead and bend my wire a little bit past where I'm going to trim it. That way when I go to cut the excess off, I don't have a piece of wire sticking out straight. It's already got a curve, and so it makes it easier to go and tuck in if there are any spots where it's sticking out, which with this there wasn't. And then I just want to go ahead. Oops. I probably should have checked to see if these beads were going to fit on 18-gauge wire, and they will not. Thankfully, I can wire up pretty quickly. 20 gauge. That's 22. That's the 18 I just had out. I didn't put, oh, here it is. That's what happens when I don't put my stuff away. So we will recut this. Ugh. But hey, that's good news because that just means that it'll be easier on my hand. And yes, they go on like a dream. I almost started cutting without checking. And 20 gauge wire is more than it's sturdy enough for a linked bracelet. If it was only 22-inch, I would probably be more hesitant to use it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. Put it where it goes. I just dropped a bunch of wires. See, this is why I say entertaining. Sometimes my videos end up feeling like a never-ending blooper reel. Like just then, I just went to cut and it started. I had it in my hands and it went flying. Anyways. No, I don't need the wire this long, but I'm going to give myself a little bit more breathing room than I did last time. Just to make sure. Again. I'm going to try to get these all stacked up and do as many at a time as I can. There's those ones. The other ones. Now I like to push my thumb in to get it to a nicer angle there, so that works. You do too. I don't know. That comment's been, I don't know if that's a new comment or if it's been up there and I just didn't see it. 10:50, 10 minutes ago it was put up there, so trying to decide if I should do it around the first step or the second step. I'm gonna go ahead and go second step because sometimes bracelets get caught easier. Not that they get caught, that they can, well, they'll go into like a point instead of laying out nicely. That's what I mean. Kink. So they don't kink, I think. What did everybody think of the value bundle? I'm curious to know what you think. Somebody last night said they liked it better than the companion bundle. I don't mind the price. If you've never shopped with Bargain Bead Box, or aren't a subscriber to their monthly bead subscription box, you really should be. But if you're not, I have a coupon code link down below, as well as my own link. If you follow that when you go to do shopping, it lets them know that I'm speaking highly of them. And that I sent them. If it's your first order of your subscription box, I have a coupon code for $2 off that first box, and also it can be used on the sister site, where you can get $2 off, and that code is TT Trinkets and Treasures, so it's TTT2 because you got $2 off. So, if you wouldn't mind doing so, even if you're a regular shopper of theirs, but you click on my link to go over shopping, so like it drops in the middle of my Friday show. So, if you were to click to go to the website using my link, that's very helpful and beneficial to me. And I would be very thankful if you would not mind doing so. I can even pop the link up during the chat so that you don't have to go looking for it. These loops are a little bit big. I'm just going to squish them in like I just did. I just take my pliers and kind of rotate it slowly. And then I'll pull the arm back down. Just a little bit smaller of a loop. Bend that around until it matches up with the other side. And go ahead and trim. Then we are going to, let me see what I think of the red jasper with the little hematite on, or the little magnesite on each side. We want two. Let's see. Maybe we'll just alternate back and forth on this bracelet as well. And then, oh, I gotta do this loop so I can attach the next one. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. I'm gonna start it as a size 2, and then I'll likely do the same thing on this one, which is I just grab the size of it and I kind of rotate it in till it looks to be about the same line as the other, the same size, and then I hold across the top and pull the arm of the loop down, and I'm just gonna go back and around like that, just like that. Technically, you can close all of the first loop at one time. I just find that doing it this way is easier for me and keeps me from forgetting to put the beads on. I just like the slightly smaller loop. So, see how I push that past where that the loop started? I do so because then when I cut it, it's not sticking straight out. And it's easier to tuck if it needs to be tucked. Sometimes just pushing the loop past and then trimming it off, sometimes that tucks it in all by itself. So let's do a bigger one. Or what? Ooh, that's Norina Jasper. That is not rainbow or red Jasper. I know that because of the brown and gold. So this is Norina Jasper. It's very pretty stone. My hands are so dry. That's what happens when you live in Arizona. Ugh. And you pull a bunch of stuff out. It's almost like this is a desert and it's full of dust. Okay, I'm going to slowly move that one in. Go across and pull down like so. I'm going to open up this loop. I'm going to attach it to the first link. And then I will come across and use my pliers to go ahead and go just past there. That was a little bit further past than I anticipated. There we go. Ooh. Luckily, I think I can write off all the vacuums I break by letting my wire just fly. It might confuse the IRS about what kind of business I have, though, right? Grab this. I might. Going back and forth on whether or not I want to wrap up this first loop or if I'll forget to attach it when I finish the next link. So, but this will go very nicely with the other bracelet. You'll be able to stack them together. The first hole, like I said, it can get caught up like this and you kind of have to move it. Plus, with 8mm beads, that's quite a bit. Gotta pull this down so I can, or off the loop so I can walk that out. And then come around. Trim. Okay. To make it sound like I'm an aerobics instructor. And twist and turn and tuck. Sorry, I went to bed and just after 9 o'clock last night, but then I woke up at 11:30 and didn't go back to sleep until 2:30 this morning my time. So yeah, I'm going back and forth. It is only $15, but I'm gonna go back and watch it a second time. But I did snag some stuff from Bernie's to go with this box, so I don't need the beads. So I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna look at it again today and see if I feel the same way, but I normally get all of them. But I did get 2 companion bundles this month, as well as box extras, so I may just pass on it rather than get it and have it just be in a future scoop video, because I like the beads I already had better. So he may be crossing his fingers that I do indeed pass on it this month. Though he's very nice. He's the one who told me to go ahead and get 2 last week. Hi, Beth. Well, I hope the visit goes well. Most of the times when I buy one of the boxes or additional bundles, I pay for extra shipping, but it's like $8.95, and that's almost the entire cost of the bundle itself. So that's why I'm like, is it really gonna be worth it for me? Especially if it's the third. If the value bundle comes after the companion bundle, we're gonna have our September boxes right around the same time. We'd be getting them right around the same time. So I decide if I want to put some sort of focal on this bracelet or not. If I wish was just a bit smaller. Because if it was, like if it was there or something and it was drilled the proper way, I would use that for the top of the wrist. I do have those stars. I could snag one of those and put it in the middle of this bracelet. Where did I just... Right. No, the stars, I don't think were in here. I think those were... Nope, there. Maybe this one with the white right across it would look really cool. Put that on it for the middle of the bracelet. It still remains gender neutral because it's a star. It's not, even if I use one of these flower beads, I still think that it would be gender neutral, because I have seen many men who wear like shorter necklaces like this, that just go right around their collarbone and stuff, as more of like an islandy type thing. But don't leave this unclosed. Ooh, I have smaller ones. I didn't realize that. That's like the biggest one I have. So I have 2 small and 2 large. No, I want to stay with this one. Not drilled well. See if one of the smaller ones are. Hey, hey, hey. Seriously? You might be able to, we might not be able to use it after all. Oh my goodness. Haha. Success. But I'm gonna need to take this last link off and redo it. Otherwise it will be way too long. So I'm gonna make this easy on myself by making this the part that I have to put a wrap loop in, rather than this side, because that would be very difficult to do, because the loop fits inside of these 2 points. So go easy on yourself if you use a component like this and just make the loop on the easier side. So you're excited to make Suncutters tomorrow? Yes. You like the stars? Yeah, I do too. Because this can be worn at like 4th of July, Memorial Day, any of those holidays. But it can also be worn the rest of the year as well. If you mix this with a strand of, with a bracelet that had like some green to it, you could still use that without a problem, but it's not just dedicated to like a Christmas think. Now I can't remember if I cut off the other loop yet or not. No, I did. Okay. So, did I? Yes, I did. It's right there on the desk. Yeah, that should be perfect. So we need to do 4 more links is all. I hope those of you who have never participated in a sale of mine before will come and join us on Saturday evening, see what it's all about. This is a new format even for returning customers. I don't have access to a pool. I wish I did. It's been miserable here. We just found out that your AC unit isn't supposed to be able to cool off, keep your house any less than 30 degrees lower to what it is outside. So, yeah, it's been very warm here. And there are times our AC won't get any cooler than 78 degrees. Which is not a comfortable temperature. Especially not for this lady who still gets hot flashes. Though walking outside is kind of like having a hot flash when you live in Arizona. The closest thing I think guys would ever get to experience what a hot flash is like. That one looks shorter, so we're not going to use it for this. I'm doing like a mix between the first and second step. No, Beth, we just gotta talk because yeah, it's been ridiculously. Those would be a cute ornament idea. Oh, I forgot to put. It's okay. It's okay. I will just attach it with the other loop. That would be, these would be a pretty Christmas ornament. Actually, thank you for bringing that up, because real quick, I want to show. Okay. So I'm thinking this will be at sale all by itself, but I have all of these like acrylic beads, and they're acrylic by design because I got them to make or snowflake or other ornaments with. And like I said, I have them in a whole variety of colors and stuff, so that like I have some of these same ones, but they're clear, not frosted. And I have them in a whole bunch of traditional Christmas colors and some that are not traditional. So I'm wondering, do you guys think that should be a sale all of its own? Or that could be mixed along with other stuff so that you guys can start creating with it now, because that's really when, if you're going to do Christmas shows, I did not do what I said I was going to do last year, which was that I was going to make a few ornaments every month throughout the year so that I didn't have a mad dash during the fall. But like I said, they are acrylic by design so that you can put them on the Christmas tree without it like weighing the branch all the way down. But they will make beautiful. You can do memory wire ornaments. Come on. You can do snowflakes with them. You can, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Anybody who lives in Arizona, whenever anybody says, at least it's dry heat, you're gonna get a look from us. Be prepared. Dry heat or not, it's not comfortable. You walk outside and it's like you've walked in front of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but opposite a blow dryer. And if you come out of a store that's cooler and come out to that, it's the same thing. But when you come from the parking lot and go into a store, that whoosh of the AC is always it's always appreciated. Okay, I think this, no, one more after this one. Well, I think I'm gonna measure it again. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing all kinds of ornaments. The last couple of years, we have a smaller Christmas tree. We still have our big one, but we have a smaller one that we just bought a nice pot for and filled in the pot, spray painted it to make it look stone rather than plastic. And we have it inside the pot, and we have these two end tables that are antique that we got from Steve's aunt. No, I definitely have to do the fourth. That we put it up on top of. That way, if we have Christmas puppies, they're not going to be getting into anything. I just realized I made a mistake. I did two small in a row and then went to the one large and back to the small. Okay. I'm going to show you how to fix this without completely redoing it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut this off by the second small one. I do not know why I cut it off the way I just did. Okay. Instead of starting, making all of those sides again, I'm going to walk this loop up till it's a little bit smaller, pull the arm down. We are going to connect back onto this using this loop. We're going to do the big Heishis on this one. And I'm showing this because I couldn't tell you how many times my initial instinct is that I have to cut apart the last 3 links when that's not at all necessary, even if you are doing a direct connect design like this. I'm just going to, I connected this loop, and now this loop I'm going to attach this on, fixing the pattern, and then I only had to rewrap one of the loops rather than cutting the 3 loops off where I made the mistake. So it was fairly easy to fix. The tips of these cutters are like on their last leg. I wish they could come out with a pair of cutters that the tip just lasts, because I haven't found some. They work great the rest of the way. It's just that it's the end point, which is the one we want to be the strongest, so that it is easy to get in here and get it trimmed off. Okay, one. This is the last one. And then we will put the clasp on. And that is a red lightning jasper. There we go. I'd never heard the term red lightning jasper before Rosanna made a comment about it, so I know that those are her favorite. Like of the red jasper family, so pull that tight, then walk it back up. Okay, now I have to decide how I want to close this up. Now I'm thinking that maybe I should have kept that a larger loop and just attach the lobster clasp on the other side. Or if I just want to make the clasp separately. What to do, what to do, what to do. I think I'm going to try to fix this. Oh, I don't know what I just did, but it was not fixing it. Okay. Let's see. Where are my nylon drop pliers? If I can just get these a little bit straighter than they currently are, it'll be a win in my book. I think that's okay, but we'll see if it is indeed. Or if it's going to look all messed up. Pull this out. Ugh. Nope, it looks okay. I was afraid that loop was going to be all messed up, but it looks just fine. So, there's that. I'm going to just make a small little, I still want the lobster claw directly attached, so I will probably just attach it using a little, not, I'll show you, because I can't, words are hard for me, I guess, today. Okay, I'm going to attach this loop onto the last link on this side. I'm going to close that up. But I'm going to do at least 2 wraps. Okay, so that's 2 on that side, 2 on that side, so that's perfect. Then I'm going to just make a bend right there. I'm going to do the same, I'm going to do my loop exactly the same way I've been doing it this whole time, which is that it starts at second step, but then I walk it back until it's somewhere between the first and second. I'm going to grab, what did I do? Oh, here it is. One of the little lobster clasps. This is a situation where any of the sizes I have could work, but they will vary the length. So before I wrap it up completely, I'm going to measure it. So let's see. And it's right at the same size as the other one. So that works perfectly. Thanks for sending me the jewels. Hi, Delon. We got to talk after I finish, hon. You really liked the coffee jasper. It was you who liked coffee jasper, or was it Cheryl? I don't know. But I found this Red Creek jasper pendant and some shell beads that go with the coffee jasper perfectly. So it looks gorgeous. And this little hint of the dark dusty blue up here gives you an option, as I love brown and blue together. So, okay, unclasp this so it's easier to wrap this loop. hold across the loop so it doesn't get deformed. And then I'm just going to go ahead and wrap right back over the wraps I did before I made the second loop, except for it crossed over itself when it wasn't supposed to. So still gonna keep that on. There we go. That looks okay. Come on. When you start out, you've got to hold the one loop, and when you get down to the bottom, you have to switch and hold on to the other loop. Otherwise, it will deform that loop. But this gives you an attached clasp that is sturdier than attached with the jump ring, but allows you to still do it. And then, like I said, these two can be stacked together beautifully. And then if you want to, you could make a third that you just alternated between the small and large, and maybe you pop, well, that's a quick one. We're just going to do it real quick. We're not going to use any of the Jasper. I just need to find this, because those will eventually patina down to being the anti-copper. So if we start by stranding the small, which I would recommend starting and ending with the small, it will make it easier to clasp. Like so. And I will likely make a necklace of some sort to go with these bracelets using the other cactus, the porcelain cactus that I found this morning. These aren't broken, they're just not perfect, which I know is supposed to be part of the charm of it, but good luck telling my brain that. My brain looks at them and says, oh, those are broken, do not use. Now, I could absolutely put some bright copper spacers on this bracelet as well if I wanted to keep the other pieces bright copper. I just like to let things patina naturally, so I don't know. Should I grab the, I don't see them right here, so no. And we didn't really make the copper part of the design, so there's not really a reason to. See if I don't have something small I could put in the middle of this. Dang it. This one is top drilled. Otherwise, this would have been perfect. But it's top drilled. It's, or wait, is it? Yeah, it's top drilled right there. I have my twist. Or here, let's just use this. Use that and maybe 2 6mm rounds in between those. Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. Okay, so I'll just do a round. That. And then finish up the pattern. And even with this, I picked the quatrefoil specifically so that it could still remain gender neutral. I didn't want to make it overtly feminine. But I will probably use that red jasper tab and Oz one and maybe this as another one. Do a couple of options and then people who come to buy them from you can be the one deciding what they want their collection to include. I'll do some earrings as well. I think that's it, right? 1, 2, 3. No, I need to do it a third. I think. We will see. I'm kind of afraid I'm making this too big. But I won't know until I put it on the macro. So I do have a large lobster clasp in there. So if I need to end on the larger Heishis, I can without it being difficult to clasp because I will just use a closed ring and the large lobster clasp. That will make it easier to put together. Now it's right at 6 inches now. What to do, what to do. I could just add 2 extra rounds at the end to get it to the same size as those others, or I don't, and then there's side options. Size options, sorry, not side options. I think I'm just going to do size options because I can always add an extender. Okay, since I am able to stop with the small, You don't have to go with smaller stuff. Put those back where they go, Heather, so you don't lose those. Attach the clasp. Go back through. Okay, back to move freely, which is good. You want it to be able to make putting it on easier for yourself. Okay, there we go. And I like to pull on the end of the soft licks that I'm pulling off. If it's goodness. Anybody says Softlex isn't durable, send them my way. I will confirm otherwise. I'm leaving myself more room than I did last time. Doctor that has the full. Copper, 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 copper. Oh, are we serious? Well, I found one. It was not at all where it was supposed to be, but I'll take it. And I cut my cord longer so that it wasn't as difficult with the closed jump ring. My wires crossed, so it won't let me make it any tighter until I uncross them. Center my print tube in the opening. Close it that way, kind of turn it. I squeeze it more times than needed because of muscle memory. I'm used to having to do it several times. Okay. There we go. Now this looks a little bit more. That gives you a little bit more time. And you could also do a fourth that is mostly red jasper with maybe just one of the magnesites in between if you want to. But I started the video by undoing 2 strands of beads. I still have a bunch of the little ones. They're just kind of all pushed into different areas on my desk. I have some of the larger ones still, and I still have the majority of this strand. And when I put the small ones back on this strand, it will be the same, and yet I have 3 bracelets here. Like I said, I might use the rest of the small ones that are out on my mat and just make a 4th bracelet with the red jasper with one of those in the middle, just to do one that is not, that's more red. than all of these ones are, because this one is almost all white. Same. So there we go. We got 3 bracelets out of this. I'm very happy with that today. I hope that everybody enjoyed, was inspired, got some ideas to use elsewhere, got you excited for this weekend sale, all of the above. So let's come back up. Not quite the I thought it was going to be. Considering I did not sleep well at all last night. So, but I will see somebody just I will see all of you later, probably tomorrow morning. Got some work to do this afternoon and evening, but we are going, now that I see that we have more than enough stuff for more than one sale, more than 2 sales, I'm gonna kind of like settle it down, tell myself we don't need to do all of that. Oh, you probably could, Tina. If you are okay with asymmetry, or just like more eclectic pieces, you absolutely, I would probably do, yeah, this is the, oops, you can't see. Do this as up around the side with the star down here. I mean, you absolutely could. I use larger jump rings. But beyond that, I think they could all go together nicely. Like I said, I'm gonna make something using the tab, a necklace using a tab and the magnesite. Going back and forth on Rosanna. Here's another one to put to the side for Rosanna. Right? That means it's red lightning jasper because it has that quartz running through it. I've been pulling all of the red jasper that has that in it to the side for you, Rosanna. So the sale on Saturday will be the evening show. Though I will probably start at 5 p.m. my time rather than 6 p.m. my time. That way people on the East Coast aren't having to stay up really late in order to participate. But yes. Is that lightning jasper, Rosanna? I'll send you a picture in case you're not hearing me right now because you said your internet is spotty. But if it is, I will put this one to the side for you with the other beads I've been finding. But take a deep breath. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. No, I'm Pacific Standard Time right now. So it's noon here. So I'd be starting 5 hours from now on Saturday. Oops. On Saturday. So it will be an hour earlier than the original time slot. Yeah, and that is a really good thing. Even if you made 2 pieces like this, but attached those to this piece, that would make a really pretty bracelet. And then if you decided to wear both of them as bracelets, you could just put it on your arm and have like this strand and then the second bracelet right here. Well, now, Gracia, you have me. You know I'm going to do that now, right? If you guys want to hang out, I will do up the necklace right now. I don't mind. So I can do another bracelet like this. And then we can, cause we're only, I normally start at 11, but because I'm filling in for, or I'm trying to make sure that Rosanna still has content while she's traveling, it's technically only an hour into my time. So it's totally up to you. I can easily make another one of these so that we could have a convertible one, and then I will put one together that's more of like a shorter Hawaiian style necklace. So, oh, that would have been fun. We'll do it again soon. So it's up to you. If you guys have stuff that you need to go do, go right ahead. Like I said, I was already going to do this anyways. So it's after I logged off. But if you guys want to stick around, it's completely up to you. If you have to go, please do not feel. If most of the people are like, nope, just go ahead, but you have to go about your day, that's fine. Come join us, you know, if you want to watch it on replay later, when you're finished with what you're doing, that's fine too. Gracia said, I'm down. All right, well, the lady has spoken, I guess. Let me start by making this. And then, like I said, I'm going to do one. Either with this, or I'll just do a shorter one with this one that has the white across it. So pretty. It's just a bummer. I hope that at least 20 gauge or 22 gauge wire will go through this, because the 20 gauge wouldn't go through it. So let's open this strand back up. We're going to pull just a little less than half of what's left down. There's that. And, oh, I'm going to need more of the small ones too. So, some of the tools out of the way. Then I'm going to cut some of the excess plastic cording too. If this is saying, nope, this one's going to have to be cut. Oh, that's just totally fine. I am going to go ahead and pull these ones that look broken to my eye off the thing, so I don't keep picking them up and then taking them back off and then picking them up and so on and so forth, because that will get annoying. So we started with 3. Oh, I gotta get more 8mm Jasper out. Thankfully, I can supplement what I got in my Bargain Bead Box with my stash. please remember that I get 2 Bargain Bead boxes. So if you're like, how are you making all of these pieces? That's why. Those are mostly. Okay, you're gonna be so happy when you see how many of these lightning red jaspers. Do you see this? Do you see these? Look at all of those. I have so many of them for you. This, and I didn't accidentally pull them out of the wrong slot. Those were out of the other slot still. So you will be a happy camper when you see all of these lightning red jaspers I have for you. Like that one. This one is really cool because it almost looks like a Z bead. If it had gone all the way around, it would have. Or this one. So I have quite a few put to the side for you. Just found many, many more. Okay, here's one. Um, oops, sorry, ladies. Oh, you got sick. I'm sorry, Leah. Her website is just about ready for people to start shopping, which will be fun and exciting. I told her when she is ready to make it. It's live right now, but when she's ready to announce like it's officially live, she can come back on Beading Besties and we will talk about it and show it off so that everybody can see the way she has it set up. She has things dialed in and organized in so many. Ooh, that one's pretty. I'm guessing that this must have been a strand of red lightning jasper that I got, or I don't know, but it has a lot on it. I hope it doesn't put too much of a damper on your vacation, Rosanna, and you can get to feeling better quick. They're gonna keep you in your room at the bed and breakfast, or are you still gonna be able to go out to explore? Hi, Cassie. Oh, Steve caught a bug. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. You both are wanderlust, but he really likes to go explore places. So I'm sure he is not very happy. That's quartz, right, Rosanna? I'm pretty sure it is. Almost done. I need to put 3 more on here. And then the convertible part will be finished. And then I can go and do the designated part. Thank you for the suggestion, Gracia, because hopefully it will entice people to come watch the video once I post it in BBB Creative Corner. So, one more, I believe. One more repeat. Yes, I think so. I don't know. Let me go look real quick. Cassie. Refresh the community. Oh, those are pretty. Here, I will share my screen. Hello, thank you. Add to stage. Those are Cassie's earrings that she posted. Very pretty. The twisted copper wire is so pretty and elegant looking. Very nice. I like them a lot. Very pretty. I really like that wire up. It is very nice. I feel like I just come on. Yes, those are the same size. So now I take some copper crimps. I'm going to do this first side, grabbing more of those closed jump rings. I just had that were in the wrong spot. I'll just pull a few out just so we have them. Oops, I just blew that. I forgot I'd already put the crimp on. I just sent it flying when I picked up my wire. I'm hoping it will be easier to do this end if it's the side I do first. And I kind of have a different idea for the necklace now. Just to show you. Slide that down. Cut me a couple of extra inches. Put the other copper thing on. What size jump ring do I have on this? Or clasp? Oh, that's the clasp. I put the really big one on. It's this size. I think those were the only ones I had, but let me look. Dang it. It's about the same size. These just aren't as antiqued as this one is. So here's what I'm going to do. Because I wire wrap this the way I did, I'm going to cut it off of this part. And then I will do this again and attach it to the darker one. That way, where this part of it goes, will be good to go. Because they'll match. So I have that on. Give me this. These aren't bright copper, they're just not as antiqued. Luckily, that's how I attached the clasp on that bracelet. So I can still go back and do that really quick. 20 gauge. Oh, that is 18 gauge, I think. Not 20 gauge. Yeah, that's 18 gauge. Where did I see? There's the 20 gauge. Like I said, it's a lucky thing that I can wire wrap as quickly as I can. Oh, oops. I forgot to leave room for the extra wraps. I'm not used to cutting or bending it, leaving space for additional wraps. So, oops, attach it, Heather. Grab my narrower pliers. Come down, grab onto the end of the wire and wrap. Back around and wrap. This just helps it look intentional, which it is. So there you go. I think I need this to go perpendicular for it to, yes, I do. Then we'll wrap up this side and go over the wraps I did previously. Just coil up and around them. Again, it helps it to look like it's what you intended for the flask. And I push that just past center. That way, when I come back here to clip the wire, it is good to go. Okay. So now we have that. We have both of these. So there's our convertible necklace / bracelet. Here's the other bracelet. This was my other idea. Hold on, I gotta find the box. If I can find it, I thought it would be right here. There it is. Because we could pull this out to go with it. We can add in some of the red. I can still use this as the pendant. And then later on, I can do a shorter, more choker style, although it's not really choker because it falls down. I call them Hawaiian style necklaces or like beach style, wherever you live, if it's near a beach. So let's play with a little bit of bronzite so that we can pull out the brown tones in the porcelain, because I think that will be very pretty. We just need to decide how much drama we want. I don't know. We'll have to decide if we want that up there or not. They're way too big to go up on top because these are like 20 millimeter at least. But look at all the foil. So pretty. Ugh. So now you can see where I mentioned that it had, one of the other stones had that in it, and it was very pretty. So I have rounds in multiple sizes. I could also, ladies, you see that? This one I want to wrap using the bare bronze wire to go with it. It'll be so pretty. But I have some H's, and then I have my 8 millimeter round, which will be perfect. You can tell that we're a couple different strands combined because some of them are a bit smaller than others. So now that I see that, I'll just be careful to make sure that I'm using. They're not, it's like 8 millimeter, 8.3 millimeter kind of thing. They're not like a whole heck of a lot bigger, but like I can completely tell that this one is bigger than those. So I don't want to use the squares or ovals that Beth bought us. I bought all of them, and then she said, nope, I want to be able to do a project with you guys. So she then purchased some for herself, myself, and Rosanna. I don't know that I like that on top, but I don't know that I don't like that on top. I do have some ones that are, this one has a lot of gold, no. That one has a lot of gold foiling in it. So I think that's how we're going to do that. If I need to pull out more of the 8mm rounds, I can. If I want to pull out some of the Heishis, I can. But now Beth's just going to have to decide if she's taking apart her project. Oh, okay. So I definitely want to have a little bit of a moment. Do I? Kathy, the way that I taught you? Because I do, and since I started doing, I've noticed a couple other people do it like this as well. All you need to do is cut a piece of wire to 45mm or 4.5 centimeters. Like so. You take your first step and roll it down. Rotate your pliers, put your loop away from whichever size mandrel you want to do your loop around. I typically go around the 6th step, push that down into place. Do the same thing on the other side. And then I recommend you find a pair of pliers that you like that matches the kick. I like that part. And there you go. You get identical ear wires every time without having to do them at the same time. Anything. If they weren't round wires, sometimes I can get them to sit right on top of each other so you could see. But there you go. Exactly. This is one continuous piece of wire. Really large bead look like the cactus is holding up the world. Yes. I hope that you went back and watched the second way to incorporate the chain into it, since I did that. Trying to see, like, I don't know. I like that. Okay. Like so. Oh, yes, I've done that as well. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this going. I think I want to do this with the bronzite itself as the focal of this one. When I did it with the other ones, I was able to get it to where the way that I did my drop or the handmade head pin. Where did I put it? I'm looking for my on crimping pliers. They're the only ones I have with bright green handles. So you'd think they'd be easier to spot. There we go. Is that my caliper? No. Yes, it is my caliper. Okay. I wanted to see the size of the two different no, I don't want it. I want it in millimeters. Okay, so this one is just over 12 millimeters, whereas the Big Daddy rounds are 18. So I think that I want to go with the 12 millimeter though, and just use the magnesite for this part. And then I'll probably go back and do something using the red jasper with the turn off with the bronzite rondelles that I have. And that will make it like a cohesive collection. Center that just slightly, cut off the excess. There we go. I think I like this side as the front, but I don't think I cut myself enough wire to do anything other than just a simple loop, which is fine. No, don't break my porcelain cactus. You'll have to send me that link, Cassie. I'd like to see. I like to consider myself a constant student. So I like to learn new ways of doing things. I like to see other people's way of doing things, even if I already know how to do it myself. Maybe the way somebody else does it is easier and not as hard on my hands. So I would be interested. Okay, but something interesting should be more than enough. Okay, Leah did a thing in one of her videos where she did this, and then she fed both sides of the wire up like so, and then she was able to start the design there. I think this is how she did it anyways. I don't. I'm just wondering if that looks. If I like the look with these specific beads. Let's see. I may have to pull out a little spacer, an antique bronze so they're not competing with space. Yeah, this one might not work. I wonder if I have another one that's really. I think I might use that for a secondary focal instead, and start with this on both sides instead. Then we just have to decide if we're using the large hashies, a mixture of both sizes, like this. I don't know that this needs a lot of flashy. I could add I could alternate between the red jasper and the bronzite. That would make it come together. Oops. Sorry. Pixie is still really close. So hold on. Let me scooch this up just a little bit. Exactly. I will be exactly, Gracia. Exactly. So, yes. Hi, Dawn. I can do the red jasper. Oops, sorry. The red jasper, but I think I just like the bronzite with the cactus. I've got the other two. I think I just want to stick to the bronzite with this. If I wanted to create a little bit of something, I could just do something like that and then go back to the small, or I can save, actually I'm going to save that for when I put the bigger rounds part way up. I'll do 3 of the large Heishis, the 12 millimeter, 3 more of the large, and then go back down to the 8. That's how I'm going to transition. I'm just really loving the way this bronzite looks with the porcelain cactus. Like, I really, really, really like the way it looks. Sorry. I am part of Sarah Lovecraft's Hardwired group. Yeah. And then I'm a member of Rosanna's YouTube channel. Or a member. I don't know how it's said. But I think I want to do one more and then I will go to the larger bronzite. I know one of my necklaces is a shorter one, the one that I made with the black and gold Amazonite. And the red jasper. And then the other one I made using the really big what they actually all go together really nicely. I must have had some larger. Let me see if I can do this without creating a mess for myself. So there's that. And then this. So this was my other one. And those go together beautifully as well. And then this was the first one that I did that is really colorful. So they all look different. I know they're all stringing projects, but they all look very different. This was with the blue peanut beads and the larger rondelles. Where did I put these? Because actually these on either side of the larger bronzite would be stunning. Where did you put them, Heather? Where did you put that? Man. Yes, I learned from Gracia's pictures and her designs all the time. She may not have a YouTube channel, but she is a very talented designer. If I see them anywhere, like right off the bat, I don't, which means I'm not going to be able to find the larger rondelles, but that's okay. I have more bronzite I can do, and I ordered extra cactuses, so I can always do it another time. But I'm sorry if you don't feel like you're learning as much from my videos as you had hoped, Cassie. I think you just happened to pop on to a, the stringing ones back to back, but miss the other ones in between. But just like I told you though, you asked to see something, and I demonstrated it in last night's video. This bronzite is so beautiful. Right there. So if I want, I think I want to take this off because I think this is where we're going to start. I'm not going to lie, I'm straight up ready to cut one of those links apart on the blue necklace. But I really like this necklace too. So at the same time, I'm like, no, I'd have to cut apart way too much because I would want four of them. I wish I just knew where I put them. I went, oh my, no, but I could always pop these little bone beads that are like flower on either side of the larger bronzite bead. Let me find two more of the 14mm that have really pretty sparkle to them. Oh. Nice. Let me see here now. I like those two. So I can, since these bone beads are very close to the same color, I can't tell if I like it or not. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel, but her YouTube channel is changing because she accepted a full-time position with I think it's Shop LLC, but you have all of her previous designs that you can go and check out. Hold on, I'll try to. I'm just grabbing it really quick. Here is the, no, she does macrame stringing, all of that stuff. I wish these were a little bit smaller. If they were a little bit smaller, I would definitely use it. Goodness gracious. I want to save this star for the middle of a shorter necklace, Rosanna. I'm going to save that and put it with the design itself. That way, yeah, that's what I'm going to use that one for. So we'll just go back to my original design, which was just to stack 3 of these. Sarah also has done free classes for Michael's website, like Michael's the craft store. You can go look her up there as well. And she is on Facebook under the Sarah Lovecraft Designs. Yeah, I like the way that looks. So I count myself lucky to call her one of my mentors. I just recently joined Hardwired and then she moved. So it kind of got paused for a second because she completely relocated from Tennessee to Texas. So but she also has a Patreon group or a Patreon account as well. I don't have a lot of like membership money that I can throw around. So as of now, it's Randy, Rosanna, Sarah Lovecraft's design. If you have ever thought of becoming a member of my channel, it would be a good time to do it because the $9.99 a month will get you 10% off of any sale and or personal shopping that I do. I should go put on $5 a month one, and then that would get you 5% off. The 10%, if you spend $100 in any one month, then it kind of pays for itself. So, see, some of these are bigger than the other. And I'm using the smaller one. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think I need at least 8. That one looks bigger. So does that one. I want at least 8 of them. I don't want to pull out my Hishis because those are set aside. Okay, well, there's 6 for now. Anyways. So. Randy at Thunder Horse Descendants. I can't reach out to me on Messenger. I'm also wanting to put something in my on my community chat that has links to a lot of the women that I watch myself. So I'll do it, but if you wouldn't mind, just hit me up on Messenger. And then I can give you some links rather than stopping right now, because we're coming up to 3 hours and I just want to get this necklace finished and let everyone get on about their day. Kelly's Bead Boutique, she's retired. She's retired now, but her channel is still up. Just spell it Kellies. So it's Kelly's Bead Boutique. She's a good one to watch, especially if you like leather knotting and stuff like that. That's where I learned a lot of it outside of when I macrameed before that. But that's where I learned to incorporate it into my from macrame into jewelry, was watching her and Rosanna and Randy at Thunder Horse Descendants. There's a bunch of people that I can recommend. I'll put a post up in Beading Besties too, so that everybody that has channels can drop links. I just think this is so pretty. It kind of warms itself up for going from summer to fall and winter. I feel like the brown really grounds it, but the gold foil flecks in this bronzite is ridiculously beautiful. So pretty. I've never seen bronzite this nice before. And that's why I bought every bit of bronzite Bernie had in his back room when I saw this. I could have, speaking of Rosanna, I could have also popped in Montana agate. That would also be pretty. Like I said, I have a couple more coming with my companion bundle and stuff. So, especially it's supposed to be here tomorrow. If it is, it will come before my mail typically gets delivered before my show. So, alrighty. I'm gonna measure where we're at real quick. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I've got more room. I want to go up a little bit higher. I could just put this on chain for the rest of it, but let me see how heavy this is. Or leather, one or the other. The porcelain's helping to keep it from being so heavy, even with the bronzite. I really like the way this looks. And y'all know I don't normally bead all the way up to the back of the neck, but this one would be worth it. Where did I put the big Keishis? There's the little one. Oh, here we are. Oh yeah, this is the one that was being stubborn about. Coming unknotted. Just need a few more. That's okay. Isn't it called a round robin when you call out for like roll call? Or maybe it's just roll call. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Knowing me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one has 4. Finish up this side. And then we will call it a day here, but I will probably finish and make some earrings to go with this. I am going to finish with the magnesite. And I'll probably put a few more than is needed of the small ones, dependent upon length. That's what I want to do real quick, because I do see this being a sweater necklace, which just means that I'm okay with it going down over my bust, because I'll be wearing a necklace or a sweater. So, and I know sweaters have different necklines. I'm just saying, okay. Cannot find my measure. So this board is 12 inches. So yeah, this is only like a 16. If I had to guess the length right now, I would say 16-inch is all we're at here. There's 6. Yep. So I think from this point on, I will just continue the magnesite pattern for a little bit longer. I go back and forth on which chain I would want to add to this. So there you go, Leah. Don't forget to remember us little folk when you become rich and successful. Mm. Us little people. Isn't that how you say it? I don't know how to say that. I can guarantee you Leah's sitting over there at her house shaking her head and saying, "Shut up, Heather." I think I might do this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use the smaller from that point out so that it's not bothering the neck. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait, measure this real quick. It's only 1.5 inches, which would give us 3 inches on either side. But now, I think I might just want to go back to the pattern. I don't like it with just that one. So I will just keep the pattern going. I'm sure it will be fun. Because I'm not saying I'm keeping this long. Anything I make is pretty. Everybody's jewelry journey is different. So some people start by, they give gifts to friends or family, and then those friends and family want to buy things from you to for their friends and family for birthday and Christmas gifts, and it just kind of goes that way. Some people has websites. Some people do YouTube sales of their products. I've thought about doing that, but I would want to have a larger audience before I did that. There we go. Okay. Clip, 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 clip. Or crimp, 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 crimp. I did put copper wire for the cactus. So I will probably still use that because I've got this antique bronze. But I don't have closed rings for this. where I do for the copper. So I'm going to go with the copper. Let's take this jumper now. Some people sell it on Instagram. Some people go on Whatnot. Everybody's jewelry journey is different. Leah also got to 50 subscribers. So now she can go live, which is cool. Slide that down. And then we will finish up the back of the neck for this one. I think some really cute earrings with this would be to like continue this pattern and then just put a bronzite in or a red jasper in or whichever one you wanted to. But I feel like, personally for me, I feel like the piece that pulls all of this together as a cohesive collection with the red jasper and the bronzite and everything would have to be the Amazonite, because the Amazonite pulls the blue in. The blue kind of pulls the bronzite in. We've got the magnesite that's in all of these pieces. And so red jasper, Amazonite, they all kind of come together to form one collection. I don't set out to always do that with a month's box and my stash, but this one just kind of happened, which I think just is luck, because that just, I would rather have it just happen than force it to happen. I didn't set out for this to all be intermingle. Obviously, I would hope that there were pieces that coordinate well with other pieces, but I didn't do that by design. One more. And then we will crimp this side, and I will let you get on about your day. This started out as a bracelet thing, went to a necklace thing. Which, that's all your fault, Gracia. Jeez. I'm totally joking. I think that, and this is pun intended, there are many facets in the jewelry world, and I am not a proponent of uh-oh. Okay, I can't do this yet because I just found a mistake. I'm so glad I saw that before I went any further. I would have cried. I'm missing one of these on this side. There's only 5. There should be 6 of them. Yeah, there should be 6 of them. Thankfully, I think I have just enough wire to fix it. And then crimp again. If not, I can always flat crimp and use crimp covers. I did find my antique copper ones. I'm really happy I saw that. Oh, these are the ones I should have used for the other thing. I've got a bunch of them. This one is bigger than the one I had out here. I was going to use that. Excuse you, sir. I'm sorry that I did not use you, but that does not mean that you can try to create an avalanche. Well, now I know. If I need those belong in my lobster class stacker that has every other color in it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back there right now. That's why I went looking for the other ones, because I didn't see them on there. I'll put them back on. Get in the habit of keeping it correct. Okay. I really want a clip now, but I don't see one. Now I only wasted 1 crimp and not 2. Oh my gosh, come on, thank you. I'm gonna have to be really careful. Do I have to borrow a little from that side in order to finish this now? If I hadn't almost dropped this when I was comparing the sides, I would not have noticed the mistake. So that's what happens when I talk. The community is all, oh no, I'm the same way, Cassie. Please don't, I am a very curious person. I call myself a constant student. If I learn about a bead that I didn't know existed previously, I do a deep dive into it. If, like, I learned about raku beads and then went and learned as much about raku beads as I could. Like, it's a good thing because you're going to be more knowledgeable, and the more knowledgeable you sound and your pieces reflect, the more respect you'll earn as an artist. If you go to a show and somebody comes over and says, oh, well, what gemstone is that? And does it have any metaphysical properties? And you say, what? Some people will only buy gemstone pieces from people who know about the gemstone itself, and not just a gemstone, but multiple. I don't think you need to know all of that to sell. I'm just saying it's not a bad idea to be educated about trying to figure this out. I don't want to, I'm afraid to pick it up and drop it is the problem. But I'm going to have to anyway. So 2 more of the large ones. One. You just type very quickly, I think, so that sometimes it seems like we're answering a question, and there are 3 more before we're done answering. That's all. None of us have a problem with you being a curious person or wanting to learn. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. That is not the case that you will find with everybody. There are going to be people that are going to say, nope, in lives that are going to say, no, you can only talk about the stone, the design that the designer is making right now. That's all you can talk about. That's all. Unfortunately, that exists in our community. I am going to have to flat print this one, but it's okay. So you just want to kind of feel your way out when you go on other people's lives, and remember that I'm telling you this. Wait, these only have one loop. Why did I buy these? I bought these from Bargain Bead Box. So just read the room and know it's not you. It could just be the way that they want their channel to be ran. So can this really be secure? I mean, not that the necklace would fall. I guess it should be fine. Sorry, I have never seen this kind of print cover before in my life. Like, ever, ever, ever. So, I'm a little taken aback. This is weird. There's only one loop. Is it easy to close? No, it's really... It is not easy to close. Well, that makes me feel better. I'm going to have to wear this for a couple of days, though. There are groups that have it to where your posts don't go up until they approve it. We don't do that in Beading Besties. Everybody does their own thing, and if that's what's right for them, that's good. Just know that you won't, like, hold on. You're not an encyclopedia, Leah. I have been live. It's the way that I've done it, and even a year ago, 2 years ago, most videos were recorded and put out, and there's been a shift in that as well. I am not taking credit for that. Not at all. Sarah Lovecraft, all of her videos were live. They're all live. I have never seen a pre-recorded video of hers. I've only ever seen Sarah live. Now, is that going to change now that she has her new job? It may, but I'm just saying that the majority of creators did not do lives, and they certainly don't do them on a daily basis, and sometimes 2 in one day. When I do a recorded video, it's usually because whatever I'm designing, to do so live would be difficult. So, like, to show how to do this crocheted lace choker on a live video would be very difficult because it's time consuming. Whereas if I record it, I can start the row and tell you, okay, I'm going to go all the way to the end of the road. Meet me there. Pause me and meet me when you get to that point and everything else. Otherwise, I would have to have 4 different chokers all made in advance at different points of the design. I would need to have one where it's the whole first chain, and then maybe I start the second, then I'd have to have another one that had the chain and the whole first row going into the start of the second row. All of that stuff. So this is one that I would do a recorded video for, which I am working on doing it. So, that's up to you. If you're so can't hide your emotions, and if someone hurts your feelings, it shows, which I'm one of those people. But then we figure out with you that you're not trying to be disrespectful or anything like that. You're just a curious person, then it's fine. But yeah, some people just get stage fright and have a hard time, or they have anxiety about going live. Uh-oh. Did I just leave too much of a gap, or is that going to leave it fluid? Nope, that's going to leave it more fluid. Fill it though. Sorry, I was talking when I did this. I'm going to try to open this crimp back up, even if I have to use a different one. That's fine. That's a bit too wide of a gap for me. Yeah, or some people have a hard time designing and talking at the same time. I have a harder time staying up on the comments when I'm in a more like complex design, but that's why the ladies in the comments jump in and try to answer any questions they can. And if it's something they think that I need to be the one to answer, they'll just say, Heather, look up at Cassie's last comment. And then when I do look up again, I know that there's something I need to go see. Okay, good. All right, another crypt. But I appreciate that my subscribers are willing to do so. So you just don't like the camera. I'm afraid to even update my Facebook. No, Carolyn, you can't. Gracia, no. You need to. You are a beautiful woman. There is no reason to not put yourself out there. None of us would ever want you to feel like you couldn't do so. All right, I'm going to kind of let that coil. Then I will go in. I'm going to open this crimp up, or this clamshell up more if I can. These are pretty darn sturdy, ladies. Like, they're not easy to open and close. I will definitely have to use pliers to get a decent close on this clamshell. But yeah, stuff like that. There are things that other people may recommend. They may recommend just getting a round nose pliers, some flat nose pliers, and some cutters to start. I would tell you to get the 6-step bail making plier so that you can keep consistent loops but still have a variety of choices, because regular round nose pliers, they taper. And I'm not a fan of putting a marker, because even if you do put a marker, it's still not going to be at the same point both ways. So I prefer having the 6-step bail making pliers, and specifically these ones. My old favorites were the Beadalon ones that had the dark blue. I reached out to them and asked them if they had a replacement of just this part, and they sent me these new ones that are part of their professional line, and I really like it. I like it a lot. So, and that gives you a variety. It goes 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. So in millimeters. So yeah, I tried. But they do know that, like, yes, some people don't have their face on the camera at all. You only see their hands on the mat. I'm someone who prefers to be able to look at somebody in the eye. And I know if you're watching this on your phone, I'm like itty bitty teeny tiny, but if you're watching on your TV, I'm not. And then I always start and end each video on camera. So speaking of, let's go ahead and we can go up. I'm just gonna put a lobster clasp on this real quick. And if you ever hear me refer to my makeup as my armor, that's not because I'm not confident in who I am or how I look. It just gives me something. It gives me a little, it makes me feel better. It has nothing to do with anybody else or how they see me, or if anybody's ever said anything rude or derogative. It has nothing to do with any of that. I am going to go ahead and do a class. I'm going to go back down. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and do the class like I did before where I wrapped it, because the fact that these only have one loop, I want to make sure that the clasp loop is really secure. So it's not pulling open. And like I said, I will probably wear this for several days or several times until it's there. But yeah, but even like you had asked the other day, if the only reason your question the other day shocked me was because that week specifically I had done so many different types of pieces, so we were all kind of like, wait, what? Wait a second. That's the only reason. Because I had done the chain necklace, the leather necklace, some link necklaces. So it was like, that's the only reason that I was taken aback by your question, and others were as well, because that specific week I did a lot. What are you looking for, Heather? Heather, you are looking for wire. So that's the only reason. And I hope you didn't feel, nobody was trying to make you feel bad either. They were just all as confused as I was, only because that week I had done a lot of different type designs. So just gonna go up, over, down. Gonna take this, I'm gonna do the same thing I did as last time, where I'm going to do multiple wraps between, oh, it would help if I would attach before I wrapped as well. That was just silly. Nope, I almost did it again. That's why I do it assembly line style. Usually when I'm gonna do a full connected piece, because then I don't tend to wrap my loops before connecting them. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 4. It doesn't need to be a lot. 1, 2, 3, but it does need to be the same front and back. I just need to finish that rotation. And then I will come in and cut. Like so. And I'm going to bend directly at the cut right there, make my loop, attach my closed link, and then I will go back and wrap over the top of the previous wraps. And use my pliers. I know I referred you to Becky and Jenny previous, but like I said, I need to put together a list. There we go. Nice barrel clasp. Link in between. It's going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll just attach the ring, and then I will probably attach the necklace at the end, so that way I'm not having to hold all of that weight throughout the entire wrap process. I do it with this so that there is room in between right there, just so that there's more load to. This is a secure attachment, and because I'm using the crimp cover, I can't have a direct connection unless I do this. I would have to have a jump ring. I would have to use a jump ring. And since I'm not a fan of jump rings all the time, and also because I've never used a crimp cover that only has a single loop, I want to create a link in between the crimp cover and the closure device. I don't always do that. And some I'm perfectly fine with using a jump ring for. It depends on the style. And in this situation, it's specifically because of the crimp cover that I've never used before. So I'm kind of hedging my bets by making a wrapped, I call them barrel clasp connectors, because they remind me of the like cord ends that look like this, that have the barrel look and you squeeze the middles. That's why I call them that, because that's what they remind me of. I I do this. I have never seen anybody else do this. It's just my personal Wait, why did I just add another jump ring? You already had the jump ring, Heather. You needed to add the link. We're going to have Mother Hen Gracia over here telling me to go eat. Or go take a nap. She knows when I make a series of missteps that it's because I'm getting to the end of my energy line. So she likes to watch out for me when I do that. If you don't mind me asking, Kathy, how old are you? I'm 46. I'm just curious. I know you are. Yeah, I don't normally like triple loops. I'm only doing it so the loops aren't right next to each other. I could just do one loop on one side and one loop on the other side. I just feel this is a more polished look. And because I want there to be an extra division of weight introduced into the class portion. So yeah, I typically don't like triple loops. I'm only doing it because I think it makes the connector look neater. You guys are all like, whoa, wait, what? Huh? Could we do it without my pliers? Well, this one's going to be a bit of a messy wrap. You guys might not count it as a messy wrap, but I will. Besides, Gracia, that's okay. I don't have my mom anymore. And I didn't always have her when she was here. So I love how protective you are. And there we go. I'm going to stick it. So we have our converter where we did 2 bracelets that are the same, that can be worn as bracelets, and then there was the 3rd bracelet, or you can connect one of each of the bracelets onto the one with the star. I might redo this end clasp on this though. And then connect it up top, and you have a necklace. Am I the same age? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, she does the ones that she rolls closed, which are the like the other way. I also made this bracelet, but Gracia was like, "Oh, you could do those two, connect them all together for a necklace," which I agreed. I'm just such a symmetrical designer typically that that's why I made the separate bracelet. But even if you decide to wear both of these parts as bracelets, you can stack them like that, and then it looks like you have a wrapped bracelet on or a triple strand, and then it's there. You're 45. Yeah, I didn't see if she said how old she was. Yes, and I know I'm getting, yeah, I don't know. Becky's my age. Don't apologize. I was just explaining why we were like, wait, what? Yes, Sarah likes to use triple loops. She also goes like this all at once. And I like to go a little bit at a time because then you don't have to have as much leftover wire. So I do it as less waste. If I had just done my traditional hybrid loop, which as we all know, because I've shown the strength test, is just as strong to attach those two together or to make the clasp the other way. Nope, you're doing it the wrong way. Right like that. And then you go and do it on the other side and just go around the one time. It is just as strong. Well, not, yeah, just as strong. But that's what it would look like. Which doesn't look bad. I just prefer the look of this instead. So, and it's just for a greater weight distribution. Well, we got a lot done today. 4 bracelets, a necklace. I have 2 other necklace designs that I will get at after I go eat something and lay down for a while. This was a marathon of a day today. Good thing we didn't do this yesterday. I would have been on last night. But I appreciate you guys coming, giving me your support, staying on with me. I really appreciate you guys showing up. Cassie, don't ever feel like you can't ask a question. You can always hit me up on Facebook under Heather Aston. And send me something on Messenger. If you can't find me on Facebook as a whole, you can look me up in Beading Besties. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, whatever it is when you're watching this. And as always, until next time, happy beading.